All right, guys, Paul Singh, the Market Speculator with the trade report for Thursday, November 29, 2018. Remember, at 9 Pacific, I think that'll be noon Eastern, we're going to have our group mentoring session. So hopefully you can make it. If you can't, there'll be a recording every day in the report. There's a link to all the past recordings, which are worth watching if you haven't already, because we do mentoring in terms of question and answer at the end. So come with your questions. We'll go over all of those. But at the beginning of each one of these, I have a topic that I'm going to go over. Today is going to be trading through this. We're at the third phase now of this market correction. And we're going to go over the statistics, how we've traded, what worked, what hasn't worked. We'll go over some relative strength stuff. And then we'll get to the question and answer. So try to make it if you can. It's always better if you can make it and ask some questions, get the mentoring part of it in. But if you can't, that's fine. There'll be a recording. So let's get the report now. SPY, huge move. This theme we've been talking about, the lower high, and a little bit of an improvement in market breadth and just stocks in general that we've been seeing for potential setups has led now, and the catalyst was yesterday's Fed Chair Powell talking about getting, I guess, more dovish when it relates to the interest rates. Is that it? Dovish. But basically that they might slow down the interest rate hikes. And that came a day after Trump was complaining about that. So market loved it, up 2.3% on SPY. The Qs up 3%, 3.2%, and IWM up to almost 2.5%. So good day for the market. SPY specifically butting up right against the major moving averages. Now, if we cross through these, we become more bullish. And we did add 2 positions yesterday. Still low risk. We wouldn't, if we lost out on all 3 of our current longs, we still wouldn't give up too much in terms of what we made. So the idea here is to slowly, as the market improves, take some long shots. And, these bounces can be powerful and fail in bear markets. So we're not out of the woods. I would not look at this and think, oh, okay, we've got a W pattern, higher low. This is an easy trade. And we just get super aggressive and expect everything to run up here. That's not how these corrective markets work. We have to make sure and slowly kind of go through this process. The next spot is basically this range in here. If we can cross this range. So for the next week, this is what we're going to be watching. As we come up here, do we consolidate and break? Do we just break through? Do we fail, or do we break and fail? A lot of potential scenarios here, and we just have to kind of take feelers through this period. But if we do cross this, then all these things we've been worried about will kind of go out the window. So let's go to now this morning, a little bit of profit taking, down slightly, but look at that gain. So out of the 2.5%, I think SPY is down about 0.25% right now. So that's still 2% up from 2 days ago. The Qs are down close to 0.5%, which still, with regard to this candle, isn't much. And by intraday, we could follow through here. Those of you who are day traders, I would watch very closely on these shallow red opens. If you cross the previous close, that's a good day trade. So keep an eye out on that. It's a really simple day trade. But going back to swing trading and what we've been doing, our current position, LABU, decent move yesterday, up 11%, so a big move yesterday. And we entered at upper 47s, and we're at 50. Target is up here at 60, so we're really still a ways away. But obviously, it's nice to be about 3 points above, 2.5 points above our entry level there. Lulu, we entered at 128.90, basically sitting right where we entered. Now, this is interesting here because it is below the earnings gap, but pulled back here, tested the 50-day moving average. It's positive that it did have good earnings, and now has crossed over the 9, and we've got a lot of room till it hits the 50-day moving average. So that was the idea here. Very low risk, high reward. It's still in an uptrend. Had good earnings, 2 good earnings in a row, and now looks like it could be back on track and give us a really nice risk reward. We could be getting, end up getting like 3.5 to 1 on that one. And then we've got Netflix here. beaten down, but did have decent earnings. We see here now it did fail afterwards, but the earnings reaction was good. And then now up over the 9 as well. So both, you see a theme here, beaten down stocks with good earnings and crossing their 9s. And most importantly, very good risk reward. So I forgot to put the reward on this, but to calculate your position size, you don't need that. You need where the stop is. So 12, around 12, 13 points here. And we entered around 28 in the 281s. So, the stop will be down here somewhere around 267 below the 9, and target, so 12 points, target at the low end would be 320, which would be 30 points, so getting close to 3-1. But if we played through these moving averages, we're talking 4-1, 5-1. We'll see how it plays out. I'd probably get out here and get back in if it crosses over that level. Let's go over some focus list stocks. China, first of all, BRIC countries, all good. EWZ, Brazil, I thought about entering yesterday and didn't. But if you're looking to enter something, Brazil is great. India, INDL, this is the leveraged ETF, but great, breaking through this range. And then China, FXI, very nice, could be bottoming. A lot of this is going to be related to trade news. Yen is a triple leveraged ETF. And then China stocks, BABA, looks like it's bottoming. Baidu, and all these are entries right now if you're looking to enter. And Sina, all looking pretty good. NVIDIA has been beaten down. Watch for it to cross the 9, the yellow line there. Team just did cross its 50-day moving average and is above the 9. So it's above all 3 moving averages right now. And a lot of good software stocks. I only put Team and Cyber on the list right now. Cyber needs to get up over its 50-day moving average. Orly has been a relative strength leader and getting near all-time highs. Alta as well did not do good yesterday, but watch the 9. EMA, Win could be bottoming. One of my favorite casinos to stay in my many trips to Vegas, but 50-day moving average right at that level. So watch for a close above that level. And then metals might be improving. This could be related to China, but watch for a break of the 50-day moving average on FCX. And then CLF is right at its 9. Now, probably not going to enter anything because I'm already in 3 positions and I don't want to get over leveraged to one side. So, but if you're looking for something, all of these are good, including the stocks we're already in as well. So there's plenty of choices if you're looking to get long, and you could always use the index ETF, which hardly anything is going to beat. TQQQ was up almost 10% yesterday. SPXL was up around 6 or 7%. All right, guys. So keep an eye on how the market does today. We're going to watch those key levels going into next week. And remember, mentorship session in 2 to 3 hours here.